Hello everyone, I am Dr. Siddheshwar Chopra from India and welcome to you all on the Spinning Head channel. So today we have our wonderful guest with us. He is Mr. Daryl Williamson and he has joined the Bubble Tech group approximately 2 years back. And we are here today to discuss a very powerful technology which very few people are aware of. And the goal of this particular interview or video is to tell everyone about this technology and how it is different from orgonite technology, which is already a very old technology and people have been using it a lot. So our focus will be today to brief you all about bubble tech technology. So I welcome Daryl to the channel, to the show today. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah. So, so let us start with. I've prepared some questions for you, Daryl. So we'll quickly go to the questions. So the first question which comes to our mind is, what is an orgonite, and how it is different from a bubble?
Okay, well, basically, orgonite is a material that's put together to capture orgone energy or to make pure positive orgone energy. And if you take these puck-shaped things or pyramid-shaped things and you put them in certain locations where the orgone is bad, like bad orgone energy, dead orgone energy, DOR as people call it, it converts it into positive energy, positive orgone. And so people find that this is a very healthy, pure energy that's good for healing, cleans out your environment of negativity. So it's really quite wonderful. It's great. And I believe the second part of your question was, what is the difference between that and bubble tech?
Yeah.
Bubble tech takes this technology and it amplifies it. It makes it all it can be. It really does kick ass. It's a lot better than regular orgonite pieces that orgonite makers are making. We take a wand, it's a Tesla wand, and we put it on our orgonite pieces, which are made differently, but we put it on our orgonite piece for about 9 days, and it charges it up. It makes it way, way more powerful to the point where we can use it as a manifestation device. So it's not just something you can use for making the world better. It's something you can use for making your own personal life better.
Yes. Okay. And I heard that when I was looking through in the Facebook group, that we use very small quantities of all the goodies, so-called goodies, in a bubble, but not in orgonite. So that is one interesting point I noticed. Is there anything specific about it? Why should we use small quantities in bubble?
Well, it's hard to explain because it's getting into like some abstract metaphysics, but it's like the microcosm versus macrocosm is what Mike Emery calls seed size.
Yes.
And that's getting into some abstract stuff. It's better to actually watch his videos to get a good explanation, but the bubble only needs a microscopic bit of, say, your DNA to be able to connect with you a lot more fully. It already connects with you on a heart chakra level, but it just needs the material to recognize you, like a strand of your hair. Or what I do is I put a tiny bit of even my own blood underneath the crystal and above the crystal, because you put two crystals into the device.
Yes.
But on our latest devices, we don't have crystals. We have plaster, and it's like a Russian doll. That's getting into what is called triple cones.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really need a large amount. It's really a matter of taking that essence and having your bubble just radiate that essence out into its field. So if you want to put rhodochrosite, I think it's pronounced, it's a good stone for healing that the world really needs. And I put a tiny bit of that into my organite, as we like to, some people call it, but we like to call it the bubble. And then I like to have that radiated out into the hundreds of miles or thousands of miles, depending on how powerful you make your bubble.
So, Daryl, if I have to ask you in one statement, what is a bubble and what it is not, what it would be?
Well, a bubble is kind of like the nickname for the round euphoric orb that is seen in Kirlian photography. It is also a nickname for the ancient genie spirit that is created as we make these, and it's extremely powerful. It's way more powerful than regular organite. The regular organite community really needs to keep up. They need to wake up, because what we have is light years beyond what they have. I mean, they have great stuff. They make the weather better and stuff, but we have miracle healings. We are winning battles with harp. We are just simply the cutting edge. I mean, the work that Mike Emery has done is incredible. People really need to start waking up to this bubble tech, because I mean, regular organite, the organite communities, they're wonderful. They're great. The changes they made in Africa, fantastic. But it's bubble tech that's leading edge. It's not just little pucks and those pyramids and stuff like that. This is far more expanded and hundreds of times more powerful, to the point where people are getting miracle healings. My back, I asked for the pain to be taken away, and it took the pain away within a few hours. So that's why I've made a number of these things, because we're all really excited about these things, and combined they just become more powerful. So the more that are made, more bubble tech pieces that are made, the more power we have and the more effect we have over creation.
It's like bubble is about not just beauty, it is about power. That is the main thing, I think, as I gather from you. And we learned a lot about charging a bubble. So exactly how do we charge, Daryl? What do we mean by charging? As you mentioned something about Tesla wand. So what do we do exactly?
Okay, well, I'll try to keep this simple. A lot of actors and models and a lot of women in China will use what is called a face wand, and they use it to take wrinkles away and to stay younger looking. And we use this device. It's basically a Tesla coil, and we take the glass tube out, we hook a wire in. Well, it's the better way. It's optional. It's the better way. And then we use that and take the other end of the wire, put it around the wire that comes out of our bubble piece. We charge it up for 9 days. And I believe it's 33,000 megahertz of a frequency. And after 9 days, it's just fully charged, and you got a fully developed ancient genie bubble.
And is there any polarity of the violet ray band connections to be taken into consideration when connecting to the bubble?
Polarity, I think of magnets when you think of or mention polarity. Can you specify, like, what exactly do you mean polarity with?
yeah, polarity is like positive and negative side of the battery, that's all. So I think it is just touch to the bubble, maybe.
I don't think that matters too much. You
Yes,
just hook it on, let it charge,
true.
and
Thank you.
they tend to heat up and they can burn out. So you tell your bubble to protect it. 100% energy, all its mind connected
Yes.
to the wand, violet ray wand, we call these, to just protect it and make sure it doesn't burn out.
Yes.
With me, it was 10 minutes at a time on, 10 minutes at a time off. Then after about a day, I made it 10 minutes on, 15 minutes on, 10 minutes off, let it cool off. I even had a fan blowing on it to keep it cooler.
Mm-hmm. Is there any specific VRW setting we have to keep? Some resistance has to be minimum or something like that? Potentiometer has to be moved to the maximum point.
Oh yes, turn it up full blast because
Yes. Yes.
how is it described before? The heat sink, I believe.
Yeah.
When it resists electricity, it heats up more. So if you turn up
Yes.
full blast, there's less resistance to the electricity flowing through the
Absolutely.
device. As a result, less heating up.
Absolutely.
So turn it up full blast if you can.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed from Mike's comments on the group, that the VRW can be kept on the bubble itself, because when bubble is charging, it seems to be cooler, and that is how it can protect the violet ray band also, isn't it?
Yes. There's a lot of information in the
Yeah.
BubbleTech group. You
Mm.
go to the 101 for newbies file and explains everything in detail, how to keep this wand cool. And then after a few days, you can run it like half an hour at a time, then half an hour off. And
That's really
after a
good.
while, you get it fully charged up.
Yes, yes. That's a very important point. Thank you, Daryl. We'll go to the next question. Uh, I read a lot about this word called euphoria and the technique of Merlin Chi activation. Could you throw more light on this, Daryl?
Euphoria and
Merlin Chi
what was that?
activation.
Modeling chi activation.
Yeah.
Well, there's the intentions. I don't know if you had a chance to read up much on the intentions aspect, but
I think what little I could gather from that Merlin Chi activation is that makes our conscious mind slow down. And there is where we get the connection with the genie. That is what I could gather.
Merlin chi activation. Okay, so
Merlin Chi activation.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the breathing exercise. A lot of people know Wim Hof, who went up
Yes.
Mount Everest in like
Yes.
only shorts on. Just he went up like a few miles up Mount Everest in the freezing cold.
Yes.
Just blew the world's mind. So his breathing exercise, yogic fire breath or something, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, it helps your body to release steroids. And
Oh.
at the point where you're really struggling to inhale, that's when you do this towards your bubbles, and you imagine purple euphoria coming out of your hands, and at your bubbles you install your intentions to like heal nature, give euphoria to nature, and you want to make these permanent intentions. You want the bubbles to do this 24/7 every day. And what was I going to say here? But yeah, that's quite important. You're supposed to do that to make sure that the bubble is healing nature, water, air, bees, trees, etc. So the euphoria comes back to you.
Mm-hmm. So we have to install the intentions of protection and then go ahead with installing the other intentions. That is what I gather of. Is it?
Well, yeah, you could do it telepathically, and and verbally at the same time if you wish, just to protect the wand, you know, because
Yeah.
for the first 9 days, that's what you want to do. And then after that, you can focus on intentions for euphoria to nature, or even on the first day, if you want to just be charging it up and sending euphoria to nature and protecting the wand at the same time, that's okay too. But it's really one's personal choice how they want to do it. You should listen to your intuition,
Yes.
because everybody is a different person,
Different.
and this bubble is going to reflect your own personal nature. So
Okay.
it's up to you.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. Let's go to the next question. For a layman, what would be your recipe for making a bubble? The materials I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay. Now the latest is called a triple cone. I'm going to get into that first because we need to focus on that more. These things are awesome. They radiate approximately 5 million Bovis energy. Bovis
Wow.
energy is life force energy. So when sensitive people are around these, you know, it just absolutely amazes them. Even my first bubble, which was probably only like 1 million Bovis, and it was not even triple cone. It was just the cement and iron oxide and sand and some magnets inside, and that absolutely amazed some empaths. So now with the triple cones, you get it's like a little water Dixie cup, and turn upside down, fill it with plaster. I won't get into the exact ingredients you put in the plaster right now, but I'm just simplifying it. And well, you pour it in, you let it harden, and then you put protective material over that. Specifically, it kind of like compresses onto it.
Okay.
Let that dry, and then put that inside a bigger plastic cone.
Bigger plastic.
And well, you fill up the bigger plastic cone after that with plaster, and then you take the hardened small one and put that inside.
Okay.
And then you let all that completely dry. Take that out of the plastic cone, and you know, put the protective material onto that one.
Yeah.
Then when that completely dries, you put that into an even bigger one. And then when that's all done, that completely dries, you got your basic triple cone, which is the most powerful thing we've made so far. And it's awesome. Like, the miracles that people are experiencing are fantastic.
So
That's
also, do we add any epoxy resin coating in between? Some amplification layer or something, Daryl?
amplification. Yeah, amplification layer is what it's called. Epoxy resin works as an amplification layer.
Okay.
So you can use that, and
Okay.
or anything else that does the same thing. But for now, I think epoxy resin is what people are using for triple cones. I've made 11 of the other kind of orgonite devices, but I still have yet to make a triple cone. I'm going to be getting the molds in as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And then putting them into a crystal shop nearby.
Ingredients, more or less, which one is better? If I have to ask you, with respect to bubble tech, ingredients added more or less?
You mean which ingredient you want the most of for the cement bubbles, or the most of for the plasterite?
Yeah, for the cement bubbles. Yeah.
Powdered iron is ideal, but extremely expensive. Iron oxide, natural, I emphasize natural, is important. I put in about 25% of iron oxide and about 65 of regular cement.
Okay.
and about 15% sand, and maybe a little bit of other things like a little smidgen of diatomaceous earth, because it's got, like
Yeah. Spin
a
properties.
special
Yes.
golden element to it, like an ormus, natural ormus.
True. True. Is there any minimum size of the bubble we have to maintain?
Yeah, basically, let's see here. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you can see
Wow. That's
that's the
beautiful.
smallest. And well, that's a magnet on top,
Yes.
just to give it a little bit of a charge all the time.
Yes. That's great.
And
That's great.
but it's better to make them big. You want to make your first one big, even if you don't do it really, really well, and you're just kind of like fumbling through it. It's pretty hard to mess these things up. You're still going to get an extremely powerful genie spirit. So, you don't have to worry about trying to make it perfect the first time. Just make one. Like to answer your question before, you're asking the simplest way to make a bubble. Just take the violet ray wand and put it on a block of concrete. Those mason bricks they use to build houses and walls and stuff.
True.
You just bubble that up for 9 days, charge it up for 9 days, and you got yourself a bubble that will basically, you'll have your white magic spirit that's there for you 24/7 to
Wow.
keep mosquitoes away, keep the rats away. Like, I've never had a single mosquito in my room for about a year and a quarter now, since I started making these.
That's great. And
And
is
so
there any specific reason of choosing 9 days of charging? Is it continuous
um,
charging, or we can even break up in the meanwhile?
it relates to numerology. 216 hours, 9 days. I can't remember the info on that. It's a minimum 9 days. We'll just keep it at that. It has to be a minimum of 216 hours. So, like, a little bit of time charge on, a little bit of time off. But once it's up to like around 7 days or 6 days, you can just charge it 24/7, and it'll be strong enough to protect your wand so it doesn't burn out. For hair loss, like the number 4, and then hair loss. Is it .com or .org? I think it's
It's
.org.
.org, I think. It's .org. I'll add up in the description section. Viewers can see that.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're the strongest. They last the longest. So just get those, and
Sure.
they're easier to use.
That's
I
by
bought some
Sam
time.
Jordan, I guess.
Yeah, Sam Jordan. Yeah, he's just got the best ones. So people use them to grow their hair back too.
Yeah, true. And is there any chance of the charge getting leaked from the bubble after 9 days of charging continuously?
Okay, for newbies, yeah, this is important. You don't want to put it onto a floor of cement. I mean, if it is still in its plastic pot, then that's probably okay. But I'd still put like a little mat even underneath of that, because its energy field radiates from it so intensely, and it's probably thickest and strongest right near the material, right? So yeah, I wouldn't. You don't want to put cement bubble onto a cement floor, because the energy leaks out, because it starts to charge up other pieces of cement, which is kind of funny. You'll just have to recharge it up again, you know. But you can also take it out of its plastic container, put it onto your garage floor grounds, and put the ultraviolet ray wand from For Hair Loss, Sam Jordan's For Hair Loss, and just charge it up all the time. You'll be charging up your garage floor and all the cement that's connected around. Some people hook up their bubble and the wand to copper pipes in their house, and they charge that up, and that's really good.
Going to the next question, Daryl. What do we expect once a bubble is built and charged completely? What do we expect to happen? Of course, we have installed the intentions also. What does a newbie look for? I have my own experience to share in this, but I would like to know from you if there is any specific thing we are looking for.
Well, episodes of telepathy, if you ask it what its name is, it'll tell you its name. But that's generally for people who are more aware. But people who have absolutely no telepathy, it may take a longer period of time. People who are really sensitive will notice it as each day it's getting more powerful. They feel more energy from it. On the 9th day, you install your intentions to heal nature. And yeah, you excuse me, you get the euphoric blowback. For myself, I even had a dream where I was doing the this and
Activation.
just giving it my activation intentions, and I had a dream that I was like just blown back. So like my astral body was like was hit with all the euphoria, and so that was a nice confirmation that I was doing it well.
So
and of course, controlling the weather. I got to mention controlling the weather. Once it's at its most powerful, then you can just ask for sunny days. You can ask for rain, and you'll start noticing changes in your weather.
Chemtrails also?
Chemtrails are great to ameliorate.
Wow.
Ameliorate, to change one bad energy into a positive energy.
Daryl, I will share my little experience if you allow me to. What happened was when I charged my first bubble, that is named Vidyut. Vidyut means electricity. I charged it completely and then I went to my office. When I came back in the evening, my parents told me that there were numerous crows flying over my house. And there was a lot of plant growth in my area once the bubble was charged. So this is my experience.
Yeah. Same as when I was charging my first bubble and it was outside. It was attracting a lot of animals, like a lot of birds.
Wow.
And
nature loves it.
It was interesting, the animals, they love the energy. It's euphoric energy, so it feels good to them.
Beautiful.
But as soon as I opened the door and they all seen me, they got frightened and they scurried away, and almost all the birds flew away.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So, Daryl, I heard that, if we have to make our next bubbles, after we have made and charged our first bubble. So how do we go about making the next bubble? I heard that you add some dust from the first bubble. Could you explain a bit about it?
Yeah, well, it's got a direct connection to the first bubble. If you take some dust from that and put it into the making of the second one. So it doesn't need as much time to charge, about 8 days. And then your third bubble gets dust from the second bubble after it's fully charged. And the third bubble doesn't need 8 days, and needs like 7 days or even maybe a little bit less. But like with me, like I'm not an empath, I'm not sensitive. So I just charge it all up 9 days, no matter what, because that's what I like to do. And it's just good to have the wand on, even after it's fully charged. Like some people have had their wands running 24/7 for like a year and a half, and it's just better for the bubble. It doesn't need it, but to be a little bit more powerful, it does need it. It's just better.
Wonderful. And could you describe the Bovis values, approximate Bovis scale values for a normal orgonite and a charged bubble, what would be the difference in the Bovis values, so that the orgonite makers will also have a clue about what is bubble tech power?
Okay, well, let's see. I think the world's leading mind on regular orgonite is Stephen Geddes. He was dowsing some orgonite to be, I think it was 800,000 bovis, which is just awesome because a regular small puck orgonite, I think, only reaches like 60,000 bovis.
Oh,
So,
true.
um, and then you got bubble tech, which I think the average piece averages 1 million bovis, but the triple cones average 5 million bovis, and bovis meaning life force energy.
Wow. Even I remember he doused for my bubble, the first bubble Vidyut. I think he told me about 1 million Bovis value for my bubble. So I think it's a good start. What do you say?
For a start, yeah, that's good. That's good for a start.
My next question to you is, what euphoria we can create? What good we can do for the nature once we have the bubbles? What do we do together?
You mean, say
Say,
half the world's population has a bubble working?
yes, we
We
have some.
won't even need to get to that point. We just need 50,000 to reach what is called dream time, where we manifest things into our reality exceedingly fast. Like you want your bubble to put an extra $1 million into your account. It will go through the computers. It will change your balance. You'll have $1 million into your account.
Wow.
I'm
I
wondering
would love to have that.
how close we're to that right now. I mean, we have great power now, but I don't know exactly how much power we have. We stomp on hurricanes really easy. We control the weather really easily. We
Yes.
have health miracles. In terms of like bringing something into your reality, like automatically, it's happened a few times with some people. Like this one lady needed an extra car, and she ended up getting a phone call, I believe, and having
Wow.
another car like really
Wonderful.
soon. It's like it's fantastic. But once you have more bubbles, the energy fields overlap. They all work together better, and you just simply have more power. And
Super.
I like to think of it as like a white magic. And white magic travels backwards through time, creating chain reaction effects. So that's why things can manifest so quickly once you ask for it.
Talking about the white magic. So, how does the bubble tech help us fight the evil of the world?
Well, it transforms negative energy into positive. So you got the 5G towers. The birds hated those things; it would stay away, and now they're actually building nests and raising their babies in those nests on 5G towers because the energy is positive now.
Yes.
So people have to start realizing the extreme importance of bubble tech.
True.
I mean, we got an academic, Mike Emery, leading the way for this.
Yes.
Um,
Thankful to him.
and then we got James Sykes, he's another genius. Well, the super genius, Mike Emery. And then we got James Sykes, helps us a lot. And we got other innovations in bubble tech. We're all really excited.
Tom Patrick.
We can't wait to see what happens next. With the triple cones, we got Ormus. Like
Yes.
this is like nectar from the gods forming on these triple cones that CJ has made.
Yes.
It's just awesome. Like we're getting new things coming around that are exciting us. The 5G thing, that's really got us happy. We're working on disrupting the efforts of the cabal. We're battling HARP, we're winning battles with HARP. And eventually we'll all have more and more health miracles as more people make more bubbles.
Yes. Yes. Any personal experiences which you want to point out in your friend
Um,
circle?
Well, my best experiences I had is I took my first bubble, which was very badly made, way too much um, iron oxide, and well, I took it to a crystal shop, and these two empaths were working there at the time, and the first lady that grabbed it, she just couldn't believe it. It was just so powerful. She said she felt it going up her arms, the power and energy. And she showed it to her friend. She said, "Hey, hold this." And her friend couldn't believe it either. And she had to take it downstairs and show her friends downstairs. So empaths are absolutely amazed by these things. They're awesome. Bubble tech is the way to go. People really need to acknowledge this great miracle device. And we're not selling anything. People say, "Oh, it's too good to be true," and stuff like that. Oh, really? Check the miracles we've done with the weather. The weather reports. We stomp on hurricanes,
Yes.
and that's one of the easiest things for us to do. And the last thing I can say about personal experiences is for months I had pain in my back from sciatic nerve, and it really helped me a lot when I finally asked it, "Okay, the pain's getting too bad. It's starting to become bothersome. Please take the pain away." And it took away like about 90 to 95% of the pain. So I was extremely happy about that.
Wonderful experience. Okay, Daryl, my next question to you is, I quite often get this question in my mind. Any ethics issues when we are making wishes to the genie?
Well, just wish for positive things, no harm to other people. And even if you do wish harm to other people, it won't do it. It's a purely righteous technology. It's 100% righteous. You can't ask it to do something bad. And even sometimes if you're asking it to do something for you, it might actually refuse to do it because it sees that there's something unethical about it. So it just won't do it. And you may be thinking, "Oh, it's not working," whatever. But, I'm just giving my personal opinion on what I think as to why sometimes it doesn't manifest exactly what you want right away. There could be special reasons, but it's a purely ethical technology. The dark side can't use it. The bubbles will not do something unrighteous. These bubbles are completely predestined spiritual technology for the betterment of humanity.
That's really nice to know, really. That means these are always protecting us. That's very important.
Yes. Really wonderful. I'm pretty excited. We don't know what's going to happen next. Are people going to be levitating from these triple cones, and we're going to be able to videotape it? We don't know. Maybe if we put 20 of those things around a person, maybe they can levitate, because they're already creating a form of spiritual honey called amrit that's coming off of CJ's triple cone.
Wow.
And that's just mind-blowing. Yeah, we don't know exactly what the next great leap is or miracle is going to be, but the changes with nature are already happening. But people should get these not just for making the world a better place, but for healing themselves too.
Yeah.
Because you heal yourself and you have a positive effect on the world too.
True. Okay, Daryl, what are your thoughts on the experiments and creative styles of bubble making? What you have seen in the bubble tech community? Would you like to specify some bubbles which are, very inspiring to all of us?
I'll just say that whatever experiments people want to do, go for it. That's how innovation works. A lot of people do things in a very different way than what is taught in the 101 file or in doing triple cones. and I can't complain because they're making something, and making any kind of bubble in any way is a positive thing. But I also encourage people to just make things that are really powerful. So I would recommend they make one in the standard way, make it as, have one that's just guaranteed to be really powerful. Then after that, do their experiments.
So especially, I like the triple cone idea. So that is on my to-do list. Perhaps my second bubble will be a triple cone. Give me good wishes.
Yes, my next is a triple cone.
Thank you. And how many bubbles have you made, Daryl, by now?
11.
Oh my God. Wow. So you must be placing all of them around your house.
No, I keep them all in one place.
Okay.
Well, I could put one right beside my head, so when I'm sleeping, that would be better. But these energy fields are so large that you don't have to do that. But putting them all around your house, all around on the inside, all around on the outside, that's perfectly fine. It's great for gardens.
Yeah.
The animals love it.
Any thoughts on bubbles used to get rid of the geopathic stress?
Well, if you wish, if you put intentions into the bubbles for that, then it will help.
Okay.
Trying to guess how much power your bubble's going to have over preventing earthquakes and stuff. It's hard to say. Like, if we all unite our bubbles together, then yeah, that's easy. That's no problem.
Okay.
But I think right now we have to worry the most about what HARP does with weather, typhoons, hurricanes and stuff, floods and stuff. If we need to worry about geomantic stress, then we will. But as for now, focus more on the cabal and all the distractions they're trying to make.
Okay. True. So, what kind of people would love the bubble technology according to you?
Empaths, who it helps with depression. It's a very good help with depression, because a lot of depression comes from dark spirits, and these devices beat the hell out of your dark spirits inside you.
Yeah,
because we all have like bad spirits attached to us, and that's getting into complicated new age metaphysical stuff I won't go into.
Yes.
But I want to emphasize one point. Before you start making your bubble, you're going to get distractions. You're going to get thoughts of procrastination, excuses to not make one, and you have to battle these. Just remember, these are not your thoughts. These are thoughts from your inner demons, basically.
Yes.
Do not procrastinate. If you have questions, then ask the questions. If you're not sure about something holding you back, get clarification, because even to this day, I still have to push myself to make more bubbles, and I shouldn't have to do that, because I love this stuff so much.
Yes.
And I should have made a triple cone a long time ago. Like what the hell, but excuses and fear of making it wrong, it's just stupid excuses,
Yes.
And they're not really complicated, but because there's no videos out on people making a triple cone, people use it as an excuse to not even try. It's just a bad attitude. With you.
Even Daryl, I took a lot of time to make my first bubble. I was too confused with the technicalities of the connections and all that. But when I made my first bubble, it was so simple. You just have to collect your stuff, keep it in one place, and that's all. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. And like I said, you just put a violet ray wand.
Yes.
VRW.
Yes.
Put it onto a brick, the oldest you can find, oldest brick preferably. Bubble it up, and you got yourself a genie. Or just take a pot, take some pour some concrete in there, make 10 of those, you'll have 10 bubbles. Charge them all up like a daisy chain.
Yes,
And even if
daisy
the
chain.
energy is not as strong on the end of the daisy chain, that's okay. It'll still charge up just as good. It needs that frequency of 33,000 megahertz. And yeah, if you want to push it to perfection, like with the 101 file helped a lot with that, then do that, you know. And even if you make a lot of mistakes, you're still going to make yourself a really powerful bubble.
And thank you so much, Daryl, for your time. We'll be continuing with the videos shortly. And for the benefit of all the viewers of this interview, I'll be adding in the description section some of the links to the files, what Daryl has mentioned, so that you can download those files directly and then get started with making your first bubble. And our good wishes with you all.
I must emphasize one thing to all you people out there making regular orgonite, making money off of orgonite. This is an opportunity, because there's empaths out there who love orgonite and the feeling they get from it. This is your big chance. You can put concrete at the bottom, and then on top of that, put your pyramid or whatever else it is, and the energy will be radiating at least 10 times as powerful. I can't really put a number on this because it depends on the shape and the size that you make it, but use concrete, use the violet ray wand from For Hair Loss, or any Chinese company that sells you these wands, you know, just get one, charge it up, make a bubble. Don't just make a piece of orgonite. Make a orgonite bubble, make these genies. And you'll also have a manifestation device for people too. And just tell it to bless nature 24/7 and provide good luck for the owner who buys it. Yes. I'm telling you, they'll hold it in their hand and they'll feel way more power and energy. And you can claim you have the best orgonite in town, and you will. It's a business tactic to sell more, make more money. Just do it.
In fact, there is one more device I've heard of, Daryl, that's called the life energy meter. And even that is on my to buy list. So
great.
That can measure the percentage chi. So that is what is needed actually to measure scientifically the energy of our bubbles or orgonites. So thank you, Daryl.